Hi, Kiwi. Alright, we're up to Chapter 6, Reflection. I have no expectations other than my own suffering. Let's go. I forgot how good this remix was. I'm looking forward to this. Oh, we're gonna have to hit these, things with, like, the purple... Oh my goodness, it's more momentum jumping. I have to use this wall to momentum jump. Wow, they saw a speedrun tech mechanic, and they were like, we're gonna go with it. But, okay, this room seems super duper doable. Scuba duper doo. Alright. In the meantime, what other ghost types have I not reviewed yet, briefly, giving you my superficial opinions on? I think we're getting up to Sword and Shield now. Oh, you know what? Who I forgot? I forgot Golurk and Golett. Golett is cute. Doesn't do anything terribly special for me. Golurk is awesome. He plays to the mech fan inside my heart, which I'm not really a big mecha fan, but I do appreciate a reference here or there, and giving kind of this golem spirit vibe to Golurk, I think is really cool. So I appreciate him. I appreciate his design a whole lot. And then we finally get to Sword and Shield, and we're talking about Aegislash, what is it? Dual Blade and Hone Edge. Hone Edge, I mean, I like this line as a whole. I remember, I mean, nowadays when I play a new Pokemon game, if I play a new Pokemon game, I generally Nuzlocke it. I find it way more enjoyable because the difficulty... I think part of the reason I haven't played as many Pokemon games of late is I've just missed having any sort of challenge from them. And so it just feels like a grind with minimal reward. Sure, it's fun to experience a new Pokemon, but Pokemon games tend to be narratively, to me, void. They don't have any sort of really compelling narrative, usually. That's why I'm really eyeballing Pokemon Infinite Fusions as another thing to possibly play. I feel like, one, I'd enjoy it just for the novelty of all the fusions, but two, apparently it has a very, very solid story. I don't know, I've name-dropped a whole bunch of different games I'm considering in the last couple episodes. I feel like whatever I decide will be at the whim of the creator of this channel, so... yeah, well, duh. You know, remember when I said this room was going to be easy? I'm just not consistent at bumper tech. It sends me a little too far, so maybe I have to just account for that and dash earlier. That's probably what I have to do. I digress. But, yeah, I definitely used Aegislash in my Nuzlocke of Sword and Shield. And, I mean, even if he hadn't been an objectively broken Pokemon, he's just a really cool design. It's a sentient Sword and Shield for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me why you'd make him in that game. Alright, that's the first room done. Icy Feather. Okay, and now we need to get out of here. Huh. Alright. I remember, in terms of B-sides, this was also one of the more forgiving ones to me, and I know the last time I said that I was immediately punished by Chapter 5, but... by Chapter 5 C-side, by the way, I mean. But, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, another Feather. Yeah, I think this is somewhat doable. We'll see. Somewhat doable is pretty solid considering this is a C-side, I would say. But anyway, yeah, so I love Aegislash is hands down one of my favorite ghost Pokemon, and not just because of his competitive viability, or I guess technically he's unviable and competitive because he got banned, he was so strong. I think the move is called Kingsguard. It's basically Protect, but then... So the whole gimmick of Aegislash is it can switch between forms. An offensive Glass Cannon type form and a bulky non-offensive form, depending on the type of move you use. If you use defensive moves, it switches to the shield form. If you use offensive moves, it switches to the attack form. And if I recall, it's pretty darn fast. So the way you reliably switch to your defensive form is to use a move that's specific to this mon called Kingsguard, which is effectively Protect, but then on top of that, if your opponent hits you, I believe they take retaliation damage. They either take damage or it gives them a debuff, I think, or you get a buff. Either way, move is objectively ridiculously overpowered on a monster like Aegislash, which is already super unnecessarily strong for what it does. If you need it to be defensive, you switch it to defense form using its defense move. If you want it to be offensive, which most of the time you probably will be, do that. But because it gets a priority move that lets it switch into defensive form, that made it super reliable for dishing out damage and then surviving the opponent's switch in after you take out their Mon. So he was an unabashed powerhouse that was relegated to Ubers or just outright banned, and I forget which, but rightly, oh man, I had that. That was probably the end of the room. Oh well, we can do that. If we can get that far, we can do this. Yeah, he was so strong, but hands down probably my favorite design of Sword and Shield, honestly. Not just because I'm super biased towards ghost types, but definitely in part from that. And then, oh, they made Corsola a ghost type, which is just kind of sad. It's just like dead coral. I went too far to the right again. She's just dead coral, and I both love and hate that design because it just feels bad to look at. Like, not like unappealing, just poor Corsola. She's living in a industrial torn, or she's living in an environment where the Industrial Revolution has ruined her environment and made her a ghost type because she's basically dead from the pollution. I think is pretty much what is implied with that design, which is just equal parts sad and kind of terrifying. All right. This time, I'm just going to let my stick go neutral, and there we go. Nice. Alright, final room. Do we have any battle ends? No, we have Kevin's. Oh gosh, Kevin platforming again. Okay, lots. Oh, that's so many. That's. Why are these rooms so long with no checkpoints? My goodness. Alright, Kevin, take me to Wonderland, I guess. Can I just fall? I can definitely fall here. I wonder if that's the right way to do it or not. Or if I should jump over. I don't think I can jump over him safely, so I must have to just fall. What is there a feather down there? I don't... if there was, I didn't see it soon enough. No, I don't understand what it wants me to do here. Other than just... maybe just go for it. Oh, you know what? If I hit the spring, I get my dash back. That must be why it's there. I legitimately do not know what to do here. Oh, hey, there's a little alcove there. Okay, so I can just get down there safely. Okay, good to know. All right, Kevin, take me back slowly. But, like, what am I supposed to do here? There's just no way to platform. Oh no, I think I figured it out, Kiwi, and I really don't like where this is about to go. I think I need to bring Kevin down with me. Oh no. That's so... I'm going to have to bring Kevin to the end of this level. This is going to be rough. I think I have to diagonal him there. I can't get him with the vertical. Anyway, okay. Other ghost types. So we talked about the Aegis Slash line. Again, fantastic designs all around. Okay, I bring him down, but then how do I get my dash back? Or what do I do after I bring him down? I guess, let me think about this a little bit. Grab this and diagonal. Oh, I bet I have to land on that wall to the right. Okay, that makes sense. So I grab this and then do that, and then... I don't know if I have enough room to do that. There we go. Okay, and now I can land on this as he comes up. But I have to be faster, or I won't get it. But if I'm too fast, I land on the spikes there. I have to fall to the right as soon as I bonk him, is what it seems. Too early. Okay, I think I figured out the next step, if I can even get to it. I've only seen it once, so we'll see. Basically, what you need to do is after jumping on Kevin, you have to hit him here, get into this, and when you break away, dash here, bonk him there, bonk him, get there, dash here. Oh my goodness. Oh, and then you have to jump with momentum off of him. Honestly, I didn't even figure out... I just figured out those last two steps on the last... in real time, because I only meant to get past the section with the spring, or the bumper rather. So my goodness, what a... Okay, ooh, okay, we made it to this section. Thank goodness they put another telescope here so we can see what's ahead. So, what this effectively is a series of bumpers, and I have to dodge the spikes. So I think what I do is I hit this one in the center, or this first one from the right side, and then I go vertical to hit this one on its right as well. I probably have to hopefully get enough distance to bypass these two spikes and then hit this on its right side, and then dash upwards to hit this one on its right side. Similarly, get enough x-axis to fall through this little space between the spikes, and then dash into this so I hit its right side. Dash upwards. Oh, why is there a dash reset here? I don't even see how I would get to that and use it, but my thought process is I get bumped right and then dash upwards and do the momentum jump to clear this, and then it's one more bumpers right side, grab the jump juice, and hit the crystal heart. There's no way I'm getting this on the first try, but here we go. Yeah, that's not a surprise. Oh, it's a checkpoint. This is a checkpoint, Kiwi. Oh, they took pity on us. I did not want to have to do that whole Kevin sequence again. Thank goodness. Okay, that makes this way more approachable. The devs took pity on us sad souls. Alright, well then, back to my commentary on Ghost Pokemon. So next up we have Phantump and Trevenant. I love both of them. I have always loved the idea of Ents. I think they're a really cool, like, cryptid, like, supernatural creature type thing. Revenant, or, sorry, what am I saying? Not Evenant, Revenant. I don't mean actually Revenants, I mean, Ents. Because that's what Trevenant is. It's a Revenant, but it's an Ent. And Ents are sentient trees. Depending on whether you played RuneScape or not, you may have good or bad memories of them. I have both. Because, I mean, I was not a big Lord of the Rings fan growing up, mainly because I never experienced it, and I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen it as a kid. I guess because I'm so familiar with the tropes born of it, it felt less novel to me when I saw it for the first time, and I know I'm wrong about that. Like, Lord of the Rings is an unparalleled classic and deserves to be heralded as much, and for what it's worth, I did definitely enjoy it, just not as much as I thought I would have. I think I have an inherent problem where if I hype myself too much, hype myself up about something too much, my enjoyment of whatever I'm hyping myself for just immediately gets reduced. And it's unfortunate, but it is the reality I live with. And so I guess I probably, like I said, if I had known less about Lord of the Rings going into it blind, I absolutely would have enjoyed it way more than I did. Not to say that I didn't enjoy it, but that was a bit of a tangent. What I wanted to say is Trevenant is such a cool design. He's spooky, he's tree, he's ghost. I am simple man. I like trees, I like ghosts, the end. And Phantump is just the cutest little pre-evolution form. Phantump can do no harm, unless you read its Pokedex entry, which is probably something really dark, because they love doing that for ghost types. They really, really do. It's kind of funny how consistently ghost types have some of the darkest Pokemon lore. Oh, this could be it, Kiwi. It's it. Oh, wait. Let's not throw it there. We did it. Another seaside beat. Okay, that Kevin section was really clever in how it was designed, but to whichever devs designed that, you guys are awful human beings. I love what you do. You're fantastic at what you do, but why are you so cool? No, the devs made an amazing game. This game is phenomenal for those who like platformers. I will say, though, in terms of platformers, I much prefer 3D platformers. I think that's where my skill actually lies. At least in my head it does. I don't feel so great about beating Celeste. I mean, I don't know how I compare to other people, and frankly, it doesn't matter how I compare to other people. The enjoyment of the game comes from my personal experience, not how I experience it relative to others. But, you know, I've been born and raised a competitive sort of person. Oh boy, that's a lot of deaths. Oh boy, that's a lot of deaths. Oh. Any guesses what this seaside's gonna be like? I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Seasides. I need to rest my hands and my brain, which is absolutely fried. But most importantly, I would love a Phantup plushie, Kiwi. If you ever hear this and you're not sure what to get me for a birthday present, I mean, you know I'm collecting Ghost-type Pokemon plushies to begin with, but Phantup and Trevenant, but especially Phantup, like, no questions asked, I will hug that and love it and be very thankful for it. Not that you have to get that for me. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to take a break. Alright, time for the Chapter 7 Seaside. I'm sure this will be easy. No, I'm kidding. I ended up looking on Reddit to see, like, what people consider the hardest chapters in all of Celeste. And this is consistently ranked second only behind Chapter 9. Specifically, Chapter 7 Seaside is the only one consistently ranked below Chapter 9. So I know I'm in for the long haul on this one. But we'll see how it goes. Looks like it's starting off with just our wall jumping speedrun tech. So no deaths yet, which is, I'm sure, not reflective of what's going to happen soon enough. Can I even make that? No, I can't. Alright, so we're just going to have the most perfect wall jumps. Which I think this is just going to have to get some muscle memory developed. And while we're developing that muscle memory, I guess I can finish off my list of Ghost-type Pokemon that I've been commenting on. Oh, our first death, hooray, I think. I can finish off the list of Pokemon that I have been commenting on. So, Ghost-types, of course. Where we left off, I think we were up to Pumpkaboo. So, I don't have a lot of connection to Pumpkaboo, but I still love it. It's really cute. And then on top of that, I have a very distinct memory of, I think it was Corvamay's speedrun of the Pokemon typing game. And her just saying, Pumpkaboo, over and over and again. I don't know why, but that just made me, I randomly quote that every now and again, because it was pleasant. It made me happy. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a Pokemon typing game, and based on the Pokemon in it, it must have come out in like Gen 5 or 6, so it's relatively new, all things considered. Okay, this feels good. Wow, we beat the first room in like under a minute. That feels good. Now the wall jumping just clicked with me. Like, once I figured it out, it made sense. Oh, okay. So now we're dealing with a downpour instead of an updraft, maybe? Oh, okay. I went for the, oh, that's sick. So I was just going for the, I saw the sigil that opens that block, but you have to hit that spring to get through there, I bet. That's wild. But, yeah, oh man. Okay, and then do I grab onto that, maybe? I guess I have to grab onto that. But anyway, I don't have any specific memories of Pumpkaboo beyond Corvamay, honestly. But I think it's a cute design. I mean, it's a ghost pumpkin. What more could you ask for? And Grass and Ghost is a fun typing, but nothing special to me beyond just, I think it's a cute design of a cute Pokemon. Alright, we have to go diagonally up. I must have to go diagonal to buy enough time for that to get low enough that I can grab it. Yeah, like, not like that, but kind of the same idea. Alright, I think I can do this, I just don't know what comes next. And then, who else? Okay, so after that, of course, Gourgeist. So Gourgeist is the evolved form of Pumpkaboo. Kind of the same deal as far as I'm concerned on that one. Doesn't necessarily do anything special, I just think it's a very cute design. Oh, I definitely could have grabbed it there, I almost had it. Then we get on to Decidueye. Now, I'm going to talk about Decidueye's entire line, because Rowlet is actually one of my favorite Pokemon of Sun and Moon. I love baby owls. They're extremely cute, and Rowlet is just precious and must be protected at all costs. Is that it for this room, really? Well, as all the other Seasides have proved, the third room is the third and the final, and hands down the most difficult. Oh, I think they're going to be doing... No, maybe not. I thought for a second it's going to be like the last room where that block has to fall for me to bounce off of it. But... Oh. I see what they already want there. That's going to be gross. I wonder how wind is going to get incorporated into this room. Oh. Huh. Curious to see what's over there. Okay. This is going to take some trying, I'm sure. Here we go. So I guess the question is, will there be wind here or not? I digress. Anyway, Rowlet. Rowlet is so good. Rowlet's middle evolution, whose name I am currently blanking on, is a middle evolution, unfortunately. It suffers from just being less identifiable than its predecessor and its replacement. And like I can clearly picture what it looks like in my head, but I don't honestly like the look. And then Decidueye, I both like and dislike. I'm not a fan of the hoodie aesthetic, but I also really like his color scheme, and the Ghost Owl theme I think is really cool. So he has a lot of points. I like his special move, or his like signature move, if you will. So, and then Hisui and Decidueye, I know they were going for like a samurai aesthetic. I still have yet to play Legends Arceus, so I don't have a strong connection to that form yet, but it's alright. It's nothing groundbreaking to me. Who else? I guess we also got Marowak in his Hisuian form. I think Sun and Moon was Hisui or whatever, the Indonesian-inspired locales at least. Or wait, did I say Indonesian? I might mean Polynesian. I'm not good at geography. Basically, the Hawaiian Islands and the areas of that nature. Like clearly, there's a Hawaiian island aesthetic, but I believe it extends more than that. I'm blanking on the correct term. Unfortunately, I don't want to stop and look up to better educate myself and correct what I'm saying. But I do try to look things up after I finish a playthrough, so that I can be at least a little bit more informed if I ever have to have a comment on this again. Doesn't mean I'll remember, but at least I like to take the effort to try and learn where possible. Oh, man, I'm really bad at hitting springs when I approach them from that kind of angle. Anyway, let's see. So anyway, Decidueye, I quite like him overall. His design isn't my favorite Pokemon design, but I still overall like it enough. Then we have Oricorio, which I really have, I didn't care for Oricorio in any form, so I don't really have much to say beyond that. I don't know. I don't know why, but bird Pokemon in general usually don't do much for me, unless there's like some sort of narrative or emotional connection to them, like the legendary birds, for example. But yeah, the Oricorio and all the different forms just never resonated with me. I think it's cool that they represented different dance styles, don't get me wrong, but I have neither connection to birds nor dance, so unfortunately it's a very superficial appreciation, if at all. Well, that's the farthest I've ever gotten. As you can tell, I've been at this for almost half an hour now. Probably closer to like 25-ish minutes, I think, since I last made commentary. And that's the farthest I've gotten. And I'll show you in the next attempt, but oh my goodness, this has been such an ordeal, Kiwi. Reddit didn't lie. So look at this. Right there is the farthest I've gotten. This is the rest of the map. Like, at most, that's the halfway point. Okay, maybe the 2/3 point, but still. It's just... Wow, this is... I guess I shouldn't have been surprised based on everyone calling this the second hardest chapter in the game. And it's only a 3-room chapter. But, man, they did not pull their punches on this. Anyway, I guess I'll ramble a little bit more about ghost types for a little bit, and then I'll inevitably skip forward once again. So... we left off on, Oricorio, which I don't really care for. On the other hand, Sandagast and Palossand? Or Palisand? I think they're hilarious. They're little. I mean, let's start off with Sandagast rather. It's got a little shovel sticking out of its head. It is precious. It's up there with Litwick as far as I'm concerned for like the cutest ghost Pokemon out there. And Sandagast or sorry, Palossand or Palossand. Less into it, but I do think its Pokedex entries are pretty fantastic. If I recall, it like tries to entice people into its mouth and then it just spirits them away or eats them or something. I may be misremembering that. It's been a long time since I've looked at even looked at that Pokedex entry, but I feel like it was something to that nature, and I would definitely believe it given how Pokemon likes to write their Pokedex entries for ghost types. But yeah. Oh, I forgot about Hoopa. Hoopa I have zero connection with. I've never seen the anime. I never used it in competitive when it came out. I never even caught it because I kind of moved along from Sun and Moon by that point. So I really have zero connection to the Pokemon. So design-wise, it doesn't do much for me. I'm not a big fan of its design, I guess. At least, I might be mixing it up with someone else, but I'm pretty sure I remember what Hoopa looks like. That's the extent of my connection. Like, I can't even properly visualize it in my head. No, I'm pretty sure I remember what it looks like. Yeah, it has like red hoops. Yeah, I really have no connection with that Pokemon whatsoever. On the other hand, Lunala and its pre-evolutions and all that, I love, what is it, Cosmog? Middle evolution is still middle evolution syndrome, but it's still a pretty cute middle evolution, so I'm willing to forgive it. And then Lunala just looks really cool, this bat-themed, moon-themed monster. I really appreciate that one. I absolutely went with what is it? I went with Moon version when I got Pokemon, when I had the choice for that generation. Lions are cool, but they're not really my like aesthetic preference. I'm a dog person, which, since we're on the topic of dogs and ghost type Pokemon, I guess I could skip ahead a little bit to Graveyard and what was it? Oh, I'm forgetting the other one. Graveyard and I'm sure it'll come to me later. But unfortunately, I never really used them either because, well, they were Scarlet and Violet Mon, so I only got to hear about them in passing. Design-wise, I'm not a big fan of their design, to be honest, which is sad because a ghost-type dog should be like unambiguously my favorite Pokemon ever. I love dogs, I love ghost types. It should be a match made in heaven. But I don't know. There's something about their design. It's the hair covering the eyes, maybe, and the bulkiness to them. Just they didn't do it for me. Like, if I was gonna say there was a dog Pokemon I really like, it would be Darkspun and its evolution. Again, mind you, I really have not played Scarlet and Violet, so I lack connection to these the way I can comment on the others. Honestly, I may just skip Gen 9 now we're at? I might just skip all of their ghost types, except for maybe, what is it, Goldango and, oh gosh, what's Goldango's pre-evolution? I'm totally blanking on it. Oh, and Skeledirge I appreciate because I saw Fuecoco singing in the anime and I thought that was really cute. So, like, Skeledirge gets an honorable mention. Ceruledge, that's what I'm trying to remember. Ceruledge looks so cool. It basically looks like a Mega Man evolution. It looks like Mega Man, and I love the purple or the dark blue and light blue fire aesthetic. So yeah, definitely points in the corner for them, for me. What a surprise, I like the edgy Pokemon. But, yeah, I don't know. Marshadow, I think, is really cute. My only connection with that one, again, would be actually Smash Brothers, because it was a Pokeball summon you could get. And cute Mon, very cute Mon. I think it's Ghost Fighting type, if I recall. I just never really used it either, so I never caught it. I think that was a Sun and Moon legend. Yeah, it must have been. I don't have the connection with it the way I do the other ones. It feels like at this point my ghost type analysis is going to be that way, so I'll just do the honorary mention. So, Sinistea and Poltegeist. One, I think the portmanteaus are brilliant, and I think they're very cute. I have no connection with teapots and teacups, so it's basically I appreciate the naming scheme, I appreciate the design, and there's not much more that needs to be said beyond that. They're very cute. The Dragapult line with Dreepy, Dracolac, and Dragapult, I love them. I think the idea that Dragapult has little Dreepies coming out of his neck is fantastic. It's really funny. And I believe... No, I didn't have him on my competitive team. Or, not my competitive. I didn't use him in my Nuzlocke for Sun and Shield. But I definitely would have if I had come across him and he was within my... Like, if I had the opportunity to use him, you know I would have used him. He just... Because I was playing a Nuzlocke, I was locked out of him. I don't think I even found one in the wild, or I found a Dragapult and it got killed when I tried to catch it. Or it got knocked out, rather. Alright, I'm about an hour into attempts now. Remember when platformers had platforms in them? I don't. I've seen 2 clouds. If we're not counting the start and finish of this level, there are 2 platforms in this entire map, I think. Or this entire room. That's not a platformer, that's a falling for your dear life and hoping that you land where you need to be. Precision platforming is so hard, Kiwi. Oh my goodness. Oh, whoa, no, no, no! Oh, I saw a funny YouTube title. The video was titled, Learning How to Speedrun a Game Out of Spite. And the thumbnail was Celeste, so I'm pretty sure... Like, I get that, honestly. Like, this game is such a nightmare. I can't imagine how much practice and muscle memory needs to develop to get, like, world record competitive for this game. It's insane. Like, just watching any speedrun of this game is insane, but, like, as you get into the top 100, top 10, especially the top 10, it's just... I could never picture myself getting to the point where I could do that so consistently and so, like, impressively. I wouldn't say I've watched a bunch of speedruns, but I've watched a couple. Obviously the ones on GDQ, and then I thought it would be fun to see what it would be like to... I had thought about learning this game speedrun, I guess is what I would say is. So that's why if you look at the footage, I'll have, when I'm showing the save files, I have a second save file, because I was starting to learn how to speedrun the Forsaken City, which is the first level, I believe, or Forgotten City, or I forget its name. But the first set of levels, which are arguably the easiest to speedrun because there's not a lot mechanically that you need to do in those. But, I don't know. I'm happy just incorporating speedrun tech into my casual play, and I feel like that's good enough for me. That's how I like it a lot of the time. I like to have the more casual experience, but incorporate speedrun tech, or just do individual levels, ILs, and such. Because then I don't have to commit to anything too gargantuan a task as to learn an entire game speedrun and master every mechanic in and out. It just... I've never really had the time and energy. That's why, like, Sonic levels, I just picked my favorite levels that I thought were really fun to run, or I really liked the music and stuck with those rather than running the entire game. Same thing with Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine was another game where I just kind of, like, self-taught myself speedrun tech and just played with it casually. Mario games are insane for speedruns. Like, every single one of them is, like, broken and reconstructed. And, like, you'll still see new strategies created every year for them. It's like, they have such a devoted community. Oh, here's the section. Oh, too high. Yeah, I don't know. Duranko Wonko was the first game I ever felt, like, super compelled to do the full speedrun because it's literally 3 minutes. And it's a dog. It's a game about dog. Why not do dog? But... I don't know, I feel like if I'm going to speedrun a game, it's got to be either really funny, but more importantly, really fast and satisfying. But maybe not too mechanically demanding. That, or it just feels really good to go fast. Like Spark, I'll eventually probably try, at least, if not a full speedrun, at the bare minimum an IL speedrun for a couple of its levels. But that looks like it'll be really fun to speedrun. It looks so satisfying to watch be speedrun. Spark the Electric Jester. I'd probably stick with Spark the Electric Jester 3, just because it's the most modern of its titles. Although, to my understanding, Spark 2 has a lot more potentially game-breaking features, but I think I'll stick with the most modern entry. I don't really remember what I read specifically, but I digress. Yeah, the frustrating thing is that it feels like I'm not making a terribly large amount of progress with each attempt. So, I mean, I've been at this for almost 3 hours now, so there's definitely a dissatisfying sense to it. I know I'll get, but the problem is it feels like I can do this. It really convincingly feels like I can do this. I'm just, it's one little mistake every time that gets me. And it's so rough.
Alright, I have slept. Hopefully more rested than I was yesterday, but today is a new day, and today I am going to beat this challenge. Not on the first try, that would be too optimistic, but I am going, or the second try. But the third try, maybe. But, okay. I have to get my bearings, but I'm doing this. I'm beating this today. I will not see this reach a 4th hour. I promise. More to myself than to you, Kiwi, but let's both take that promise to heart. In the meantime, I can give you a short story that'll probably make you laugh. So I was texting a potential employer about a shift with them, and they were checking to see if a friend who runs an Airbnb would be able to help me stay by us, give me housing while I'm in the area. Unfortunately, the friend was booked up, so I couldn't stay with them. So I just told them I'd look for hotels in the area. Except I used my my phone's slide text feature, where you like slide your finger around letters and it'll type words based on that. And I didn't read that I had said hotel. I had said girls instead of hotel. So the text read something to the effect of, "All right, I'll see if there are any nice girls in your area and stay with the or something like that. I'll just look around and see if there are any nice girls in your area." And again, this is a text to a potential employer, so I was, after I sent it, because I didn't proofread my text, which, please proofread your text if you're texting a employer, I was mortified, Kiwi. Just sent an immediate text after that, like, to the effect of, what is it, autocorrect? I said it was autocorrect because it's easier to just say autocorrect than the slide to text feature, so, autocorrect is an unending battle and a constant lesson in proofreading your text before sending them. Thankfully, the employer laughed it off, but oh, that was so uncomfortable. I was genuinely mortified. So I'm gonna have to tell you about that when you wake up today. Oh god, what have I done? Well, c'est la vie. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Well, there it goes. Kiwi, Kiwi, it is. It's over. They say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And for almost 4 hours straight, I was insane. I am no longer insane. What was the point? Why did they make this room so difficult? But I fulfilled my promise. I made it before 4 hours. This is a pretty tree. Oh, hi, Grandma. Oh. It's hard to believe that it's over, isn't it? Funny how we get attached to the struggle. Promise me that you'll take care of yourself, okay? Anything else? Well, what are you waiting for? No! Let's not ruin this in the last second, Jeff. Oh my god, Kiwi, we did it! Oh. 3 hours, just under 3 hours and 50 minutes. Chapter 7, Seaside, is done. And I am free. I am free.
Okay, so I think I mentioned at the very start of this that I decided to look at a couple Reddit posts to see like what do people consider the hardest seaside or just the hardest levels in Celeste altogether. Oh my god, 1350 exactly. Okay, I can't believe 4 hours. 1,350 deaths. Anyway, the Reddit post, they said 7C consistently was the second hardest. Again, the hardest being this entire chapter. If that took me 4 hours to beat 3 rooms, and granted the first 2 rooms took me almost no time at all to the point I had a false sense of security, I am terrified to find out what this chapter entails. But on the bright side, maybe the bright side, I have one more seaside before we begin that endeavor. So with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I have no idea if this is going to be the end of the video or a middle of one. I have so much footage to edit and cut out, just hours of me silently struggling against this level, but if this is the end of the episode, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, Kiwi, and I will see you in the next one.